Hello. Hopefully people can hear me. I'll wait until some people are in the room at least. Oof. I've got no idea how to invite people. I'm using an old phone, so I'm waiting until a few more people come into the group. Hello to anybody who's watching. I'm using an old Samsung Galaxy phone, so... Well, I might as well make a start. So obviously this is a coping with depression class. The reason why I thought I'd do this is because the mental health system's fucking shit. And I've got a lot of life experience. I want to help people and instill a sense of, hope in people, because I've been let down and a lot of people are still killing themselves in the mental health system, and, they're not getting any help. I just want to help people. If you've not read anything about me or who I am, I was involved, unfortunately, in a scandal. An NHS. When I was 12 years old, I was put in a mental health hospital, and I was subjected to, just under 5 years of abuse. Not everyone was the same, but most staff were. And when I was released, I got very little support. So as you can imagine, I struggled. But in the past 5 years, I have turned my life around. I am now successful, self-employed, and I want to help you guys. So, depression sucks. It's painful. I mean, I've got scars all over my arms, suicide attempts, and, it's hard to get out of when you're in that black abyss, when you're thinking, you know what, no one gives a fuck about me, I'm gonna end my life. And what helped me is a few different things. First of all, when I was doing this, cutting myself with razors and, drinking to, ridiculous amounts, I thought, well, this isn't affecting anybody else but me, and a lot of the time, people cut themselves or scream or damage things or just really get aggressive or hurt themselves because they want to show people how much pain they're in, and that's a natural response, but it doesn't affect anybody really physically but yourself. And I realised that. I thought, I'm damaging my body, do you know what I mean? I'm damaging me. And I don't believe in reincarnation, and I'm an atheist, so I don't believe in gods and stuff like that, but you only get one life, I believe, and you either just exist or you make the most of it. And every single moment is beautiful. I mean, even now, in the present moment, it's tomorrow, this will be a memory, like yesterday is never going to come back, and that's important to keep a hold of. People just zoom through this life, and they're not even enjoying the life. They're not even thinking about anything but, this and looking good for this and impressing that person and followers and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm using a phone, but I'm trying to do good with it. And, people need to live more in the present, on the way to work. Who actually stops and looks at the flowers, you know what I mean? Who actually, on the way home, walking or whatever, actually says, you know what, that's a nice view of the water, I'm just enjoying the breeze, or that's a nice building, People are appreciating life, and it's free, you're never going to be charged for looking at a flower, unless you live in communist China, which we don't yet. Life is precious and beautiful. And I mean, I set up this group about 3 years ago because I realised that I wasn't alone with the shit I've been through in the mental health system, I thought kind of I was the only one that had been abused and let down by the mental health system, but I realised that it's most of you, to be honest, it's most people, and I'm happy that my group's got a little bit bigger. I'm waiting for... I can't see it if anyone's in this, so I don't know, I might be talking to myself. Practice run. But yeah, I was in prison, if people don't know. I shouldn't have been in prison, but I was in prison. And I was in a mental health wing of Newhall prison for about 4 weeks. It was utterly horrible, but I learnt a lot while I was there. And, I do quote this a lot, so sorry if I quote it too much. It's a bit of a punchline, I quote it a lot. But I was speaking to a woman there, and she was in for murder. I'm not going to obviously name her. And she was happy, do you know what I mean? She was very happy, do you know what I mean? She wasn't quitting herself, do you know what I mean? She was good, she was alright. And I did say to her, how come you can be so happy knowing that you're going to be here for like 20 years? And she said to me, because you either live or you don't live. Do you know what I mean? You either make the most of it or you suffer. And she says, they can put bars on my... God, what was it? They can put bars on the windows, but they can't put bars on my mind. And I was like, you know what? That is poetical. And I don't think she realised how poetical that was. That really poetic, not all. And that's true. You can be happy in a box, or you can be happy. You don't need to be surrounded by a Mercedes and stacks and stacks of paper. Do you know what I mean? Like, I did another video on Instagram. I've got more followers on there. I do more stuff on Instagram. And it was basically about fake success and fake happiness. You don't need to have a fast car, and you don't need to have, a wife and children and all the stuff that, society presses upon people. You just need to love yourself. You need to be happy within your own skin. You need to actually enjoy life. And is that not the biggest success? There's too much pressure. Like, oh, you don't own your own house. Oh, you don't have a high-paying job, or oh, you're wearing no-name clothes or whatever. Like, there's always pressure. And it's sad. It's sad because people don't enjoy their life. They're always living life for someone else. They're living life as a sheep. It's mimicry. They're constantly saying what other people want to hear. They're constantly acting in a way that's going to impress other people. But I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. And I guess it's because I've been through everything. Like I was raped in hospital when I was a kid. I was told by so-called nurses that I was never going to get out of hospital. So it's like, when you see the darkest depths of humanity, I don't think anything can really affect you. But even if you haven't been through that, depression and feeling suicidal, it's shit and it's hard to get out of, but you need to understand that things do pass. Things definitely do pass. And that isn't one of those ridiculous cliche things, it's a fact. Nothing lasts forever. The sun will burn out, It's a fact, the sun will burn out. Nothing lasts forever. So what you're feeling right now, you probably won't be feeling in 6 months' time. And that's what I cling on to, That's what you should cling on to. The fact that, yeah, man, I'm feeling shit and I'm feeling depressed and I want to hurt myself and whatever you're feeling, but things do change. You never know who you might meet. You never know, how the situation might change. And that's what I cling on to, And people ask me why I'm happy, because it's a choice. And yeah, some people debate it, whether depression is a choice. I think it is. It's an illness, don't get me wrong, to be depressed, but being happy is a choice, because you can choose to see the beauty in things. I've been quoting mindfulness and slowing down for a long time, because it changed my life. It actually did change my life, and it isn't all the airy-fairy mindfulness stuff like, oh, take your shoes off and wander in nature and stuff. I mean, that is a part of it. But what I mean is living in the moment, like I said earlier. It's just enjoy the present moment. And I am writing a book just on mindfulness, because it did save my life. I can't say it another way. It did save my life, because I thought, I actually enjoy my life. I actually enjoy the moment. I actually enjoy the fact that tomorrow I might not even wake up, you know? And to enjoy the present moment is to love yourself. It's hard to instill that in people, and I don't want anyone to have to go through what I did, but I think sometimes when you have a massive shock or, you know, a massive wake-up call in that sense, it makes you cling on to something. Like when I was in hospital, I used to write every day, you know, and that's all that I could do when I was locked up as a kid, because it was basically a prison, you know. And that's like a form of mindfulness. I used to write every day because I'd fuck all else to do. And I was abused, as people know, after a member of this group, and a comment in this group. And that's what got me through it, the fact that I knew that at least I had some form of escape and I was doing what I could, you know. And if you focus on something like you can't control day in, day out, like, you know, I live in a rough area of Leeds, yeah. I live, you know, like, down the street there's drug dealers, like there's a trap house like at the bottom of the street, yeah, and I don't even like living here, you know, but I can't really afford to move house or buy a house at the moment, and I can't do fuck all about it, you know. I do get scared, to be honest, by the people that live down my street, and I've got a father and he suffers from PTSD and suicidal thoughts, and, you know, I do sit and think, you know, what happens if he dies or whatever, but, and it sounds harsh to say this, but I've done the best I can, and I support him and I love him, and I tell him that I'm there for him, so what he does is up to him. And that might sound horrible, but it's a choice, you know. And when I talk about, you know, suicide and suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, I always say that it is a choice, you know, and to never like pressure somebody and say don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, because I think that puts pressure on somebody. I know when I was struggling with suicidal thoughts and doing all that shit to myself, you know, it's pretty deep. When my dad and when people were saying to me like, don't do it, you better not do it, don't do it, like, it was making me like, it was pressuring me, and I wanted to find my own life. I wanted to find my own path. And I did. You know, I'm always, every single day I'm waking up like with new stuff to think about, like nearly finished this degree, I'm writing 2 books, I sell t-shirts, I do a lot, do you know what I mean? I sell books and I sell ebooks, and I'm actually, like I mentioned, I'm writing a self-help book just about mindfulness, about how it can change your life. And I think I might just give it away for free, you know. Why not? So that's obviously just a few basics about it. I don't even recommend the NHS mental health services, and that's a big statement to make, but I don't, because they suck you in and they get you involved in all these medications that don't necessarily help. I mean, sometimes they do, but the way that they speak to you is degrading, and I think the best treatment of all is knowing that you're cared for, and knowing that you're loved, and knowing that, you know, you're going to get through it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't take medications, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is people that speak to you on the phone on these crisis lines, I mean, one of my ex-partners, I think she's still got a YouTube channel up there. She rang up the crisis team and said, oh, it's not important, and put the phone down, and it's still up there. I don't think she'd want me to name the channel, but it's still up there, and she's quite a big YouTuber. I'll just say it, because she's a YouTuber, so it's public. It's called Diary of Lydia, and if you type in crisis team Diary of Lydia, it comes up how she was spoken to. It's crap. And that's, like I said, that is one of the reasons why I started this group, because I thought, am I alone in what I'm going through? Is it just me and one other person? But I'm so happy, do you know what I mean, that I've got a community of nearly like 700 members in this group. And my Instagram's nearly 10,000 that actually endorse what I do, and it's humbling, you know, it is humbling. So yeah, like I said, if you're feeling like you want to give up, you know what I mean, if you're feeling suicidal, like I said earlier, please remember that, like the sun will eventually burn out, nothing stays the same forever. Nothing, absolutely nothing. you know, and it's very final, you know, ending your life or going through with ending it and things like that. It is final, and I've come so close. You know, serious overdose that I didn't ring up the ambulance until it's too late almost. Using razors to cut right through my arm. Like, I'm so glad that I didn't die. I'm actually glad I didn't die, because it would have been a waste of a life at 21, and there's so much you can achieve in life. Like, seriously. I mean, it might be like cliche, oh no, nothing lasts the same, but it doesn't. It doesn't. You know, in 6 months' time, you'll be sat there, like, looking back at this thinking, oh, I'm a different person. And, you know, you are a different person every single day, you know, because you grow and you learn, and it's a nice journey. And like I said, you know, a day wasted, you know, is doing nothing, you know. But also, please remember that if you're struggling, like, with depression, and you might just get up and just make yourself a pot noodle, or you might go back to bed, there's nothing wrong with that. I've been there. There's nothing wrong with that. Seriously, there's no shame in being seriously depressed and anxious. There's no shame in wanting to die. There's no shame in saying, you know, I've given up and I'm about to die. Like, there's no shame in that, because it's natural, and there's obviously a reason for that. And I just, like I said, I hope that I help, you know, and I hope that I've given you a little bit of hope at least. I mean, if not, that's your choice. But I hope that I can make a difference. That's all I've wanted to do, really. That's why I write these books. That's why I make these groups and pages. Don't get me wrong, I like writing, and I'm a creative person, but I wanted to create a community of people that know they're not alone, and that can talk to each other and band together and actually be like, you know what, I've been let down as well by the system, and you know what, like I said, no Tories are allowed in this group, so if you're a Tory in disguise, keep it low key. Jokes, I help anybody, do you know what I mean? But I don't get on with the conservative views. So yes, just to recap, I can't see if anyone's watching. It says no people are watching, so it looks like I'm talking to myself. Probably am. So yeah, just to recap, I've spoken about my time in prison. I struggled in prison because I shouldn't have been there. I was then put in a mental hospital. And there was a woman, there's various people there that were doing like 20, 25, 30 years, and they loved life. And that's a huge form of mindfulness. People don't realise that, but it is, you know, living in the present moment. And I said that to these people at Newhall. I said, how come you're so happy? How come you can just walk around every day, like, not even thinking about your 25 years ahead of you? And they said, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I might as well just live in the moment. And that is mindfulness, you know. Whatever you're doing now, enjoy it. If you're going to go and watch EastEnders or what other shit's on TV, enjoy it. That's your time, man. Love it, you know. You're never going to get today back. You know, like tomorrow, today will be a memory. You know, and that is the basics of it. I mean, like I said, there's some courses where you take your shoes off and go walking about airy fairy in jungles and stuff like that, but there's different forms of it, isn't there? Yeah, like I said, I'm writing a book. I'm writing 2 books. And like I said, one is literally just on mindfulness and ways to approach it. And another branch of being mindful is also taking opportunities, you know. And I was living in Hull originally, as people will probably know. And then I just upped and moved. I just thought, fuck it, do you know what I mean? I know what's best for me. You know, I couldn't cope with the memories of what went on in Hull and the certain individuals that I was hanging about with there. It was horrible. I was living in a flat with, there was like, I don't care about, if you do heroin, that's up to you, yeah, but don't leave it in the hallway. I was living in a flat, and there was like chucking used needles in the hallway, and there was like prams and stuff like left where there was heroin needles. It was awful. So I thought, you know, I'm gonna go bananas if I stay in this flat. And I just up and left. I packed a bag. I remember what I packed. I packed like, it must only be like, it was about that big, and it had a handle, and it didn't. I had my clothes, I had my CDs, some vinyl because I collect vinyl. I had some shampoo toiletries, and I didn't have anything else. Like, I left. I just up and left. You know, I went to a hotel and found accommodation in Bradford and then Leeds. That's what you've got to do. A lot of people are just sat there thinking, oh, you know, how come I don't have a good job, or how come I never achieve my dreams? And this isn't a dig, but it's probably because, you know, you don't realise the opportunities that are in front of you. And that's another thing to talk about. But I might as well touch on it. And I needed to get away from Hull, and I did. I just up and left, and a lot of people might not be able to do that. Oh, you know, what about this, what about that? Fuck it, do you know what I mean? I need to make my mental health better. And I ordered a van, you know, one of those removal vans. I ordered it, and it came, and I had a suitcase, and I had a couple of plastic Asda bags, and I just left. I gave my keys back to my landlord, who was a housing association, and they said, "You're coming back?" And I said, I'm not coming back. And I left. And I'm here, in Leeds. So, you know, even if you don't go through traditional ways of doing stuff, you can still succeed. Like, one of my inspirations is J.K. Rowling, yeah. I don't like Harry Potter, I don't like the books, and I don't even particularly like the way that she writes under Robert Galbraith, but I like who she is as a person. I mean, I'm not going to get involved in all that transgender argument stuff, but I think she's inspiring, the fact that, you know, she was on benefits, and she was a single mother, and she found the time to go to cafes and write the Harry Potter series and stuff, and that's just proof that if you want to do something in life, you're going to do it. And I think a lot of people suffering from depression and low mood, I think they just need a bit of love, and I think they just need people to actually say, you know what, I care about you, I give a shit about you. And I mean, I do, I actually care. I mean, I don't love people because I don't know half years, but I care about what happens to people. Like, if someone from the group or my page, like, message me, like, oh, I'm having a shit time, like, as long as you're not really flirting on me, hitting on me, like, all the time, because I'm sick of that, men in general, you know, I will help people, you know. And like I said, I don't make money from these videos, like, they're free, so I don't make money from any of my social media accounts. The only thing I make money from is my books, and I occasionally host courses on udemy.com. That's it, do you know what I mean? Like, this is free. So yeah, I'm actually thinking of, once this group gets bigger, if it does get bigger, like, you know, a few thousand, because it's, I don't know how many, 700 I think. If it gets bigger, I mean, I'm going to try and host a few meetups to see if people would want to meet up and talk about their own experiences in like a shared way, do you know what I mean? Like, we've been let down by the mental health system, because obviously anybody who wants to join a group called Fighting for Better Mental Health Services in the UK is obviously being let down. So, you know, why not? Do you know what I mean? I think this Tory rule is scary, do you know what I mean? We're living under austerity, you know, we're living under draconian, evil Tory Rees-Mogg rule. And we need like-minded people to actually make a difference. I mean, I'm not going to say we're going to overthrow government, but what I'm saying is we could at least create a network of people that care about each other, you know? Because I'm in this because I care, you know? I'm actually doing a course. Obviously, I'm studying for a degree. I don't know if this camera can see it, but there's like a load of degree papers over there. But yeah, I'm studying a course as well, like a counselling course and trauma grief course. I mean, I've already got an A level in it, but I thought I'd do like a university thing for coaching and trauma therapy at level 4, which is a certificate of higher education. I thought, why not? Because it's something I enjoy and I want to help people. I do not, I mean, I can't imagine doing anything else in my life apart from writing and motivational speaking. I'm trying to get gigs, like in-person gigs where I stand up on stage and do it, because I love doing it. And I don't even think people are watching now, but meh. It's good to practice. So as a recap, if anyone's watching, because I literally can't see, it says people watching 0. Meh. Anyway, I'm going to save this once I finish talking, so I'm put it on my social media accounts. So, a recap. What I've been saying in this group is if you're feeling shit, if you're feeling like you're going to kill yourself, if you're feeling really bad, yeah, please hold on to the thought that nothing stays the same, man. It's going to be final if you give up. And like I said, I've gone from someone that's literally doing that to myself. I don't know if that's, you can see that big gap, to someone that's kind of like semi-self-employed. I've written 3 books. I'm doing fine in my life and I enjoy myself. But please remember that the biggest success isn't a Mercedes, it isn't having a wife, it isn't having night trainers. It's loving yourself. You know, if you can wake up in the morning and say, you know what, my life's okay, you've won. Literally, you've won. You know? Please, don't be bogged down by this celebrity, that celebrity's doing this, and, you know, this is the way to live, and you have to do this. You know, it's just, all it is money making. You know what I mean? All it is trying to push people down. You know, be you. And that is the biggest success of all. I said that on my Instagram. You know, being happy is the biggest success. You know what I mean? It really, really is. So yeah, I don't have much more to say because the other stuff like goes into following goals and, you know, setting milestones and stuff like that, which is slightly off depression. So I'm gonna call that. Thank you. I'll speak to you in a bit, Stephen. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Oh, yeah, if you're interested in my inspirational story, I'm going to, well, go to michelletherese.com. It's free. I'm not asking for any money. I'm asking for your email address so I can send you dodgy Viagra emails to your inbox. Jokes. Nah, it'll just be, you know, updates on books, events in the community, because I do often work with groups such as Common Room. I work for... sometimes I've worked for the Together Women's Project, but I'm not that keen on them now. You know, stuff in Leeds. I'm quite active in the Leeds voluntary sector. But I also, like I said, I'm a writer. I'm writing a book, 2 books. One about mindfulness, and obviously one about what I've been through. And it will be in the third person. Why? Why is it in the third person? Because I'm an artist. It needed to be in the third person. Because I can get a bit boring for the reader, and I wanted to make it into a novel. But please don't be fooled. When you buy the book, it is about my life and what I've been through. A few names have been changed, but copyright reasons and all of that. Yeah, I'm gonna go. But like I said, if you're interested in who I am, my story, and you know, reading a completely free, well, it's not a paragraph, it's like about 6 pages of my upcoming book, which I've no idea when it's coming out, but hopefully in the next year. Go to michelletherese.com. And that's it. Please don't give up. Please know that there is people that give a shit out there, you know. I actually do, you know. I'm not one of those fake people that, like, you know, wrong word. Fortune tellers that are like, oh yeah, I can tell your future, give me 100 quid. You know what I mean? I'm not into that. I actually give a shit. I've lost people to suicide myself, you know what I mean? I nearly lost my dad to suicide. I lost my half-brother. I care about people. And if doing videos like this every week make a difference, well, so be it. You know? So obviously, you know, a lot of people like to watch the soaps and stuff like that. I think they're a load of shit. But, you know, if you want to get off and watch the soaps, that's kind of why I ended it at this time. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. And please never give up. And hopefully, well, I'll see you again in a week or something. I'm going to do these every week. So if people miss them, they always get an opportunity to do another one. So I think people are coming into the group. But I'm actually ending it now. I'm going to post a full video of this online. And like I said, if you want to download a completely free chapter of my upcoming book, go to michelletherese.com. If you're interested in coaching, hold your horses, because I need to get my new business phone number sorted out with giffgaff. But it's been lovely talking to thin air, but I know that people have been watching, and it's good practice anyway for me. But yeah, thank you. Don't, you know, never give up, and I'm gonna go now.